I'm sitting in the front row. I am unbelievably transfixed and focused on this man in this black suit and the top hat. He's making coins come and go in thin air. He's making flowers come out of his hand, and he takes off his hat and sets it down and makes a rabbit come out of it. I am a believer. And I went home and told my mom all about the wonders that I had seen. And she very graciously and was very thoughtful not to dash the imagination of a 6-year-old, and told me that indeed magic is wonderful. So fellow Toastmasters, our contest master, and our guests here today, this is my testimony about my belief in magic. Some 44 years later, it's a glorious day. I'm in a park. It's springtime. I'm with my wife and my daughter Jenna. You can smell the fragrances. The trees are budding. And you can faintly, faintly hear music. We're in that park because of a promise that we had made. A promise to take my daughter halfway around the world to China, to reintroduce her to the country of her birth. The next morning, I'm holding her hand as we're driving through the gates of her orphanage. And I look out the window and I can see that there's a red carpet on the steps of the reception building. And it dawns on me that perhaps our visit is important to them as well. So we get out of the van. We are greeted very warmly and graciously by the administrators. And then they see Jenna. And they are giddy. They are beaming with her. And we're inside, and more staff arrive, and we break out our gifts, and we start telling stories. And we look through the life books that we've brought with us. And then time stands still. In the door walks Yu Yi. You see, Yu Yi is the woman, the nanny, who took care of my daughter from the day that she came into care to the day that my wife and I got her. And Jenna sees her and practically levitates across the room to embrace her. And at that moment, you didn't need to be able to speak Mandarin or English to see how thrilled they were to be with each other. Needless to say, I was a very proud parent. They were inseparable the rest of the day that we were there. But at some point during the afternoon, our visit was over. There were many laughs and many tears of joy, but we did have to say goodbye. But the magic was not over. That evening when we returned from dinner, when we drove up in front of our hotel, I could see out the window of our van Yu Yi and her son standing on the front steps of the hotel, jumping up and down, waving at us. It's extraordinary to us that she's with her son, because the last time we'd seen her, she was pregnant. So to say that we were thrilled to see her again is an understatement. I'm a bit of a bystander in all this human drama. It is difficult to share the grief that my daughter has had over not knowing where she comes from or her birth family. And at the same time, it is practically impossible for me to understand or comprehend the grief and the sense of loss that these caregivers, these people that work with children at their most tender time of life, that they have when they see them leave and they're never to return again. What I had the chance to witness, what I had the chance to see and hear and feel, was the transformation from grief into joy. And it makes a difference. It changed my daughter's life. There is no question it changed some lives in China, and it changed my life. It made me believe again, like the little 6-year-old, in the magic of life. Thank you very much.